YouTube, what's going on? YouTube, what's going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy, one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell good, family. Hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. Positive energy, positive vibes. Y'all know how we rock out here on this channel, man. Positive vibes only, all right? So it's that time of year, Smell Good family, for me to run down my top 10 list of 2024. So most complimented fragrances, top pickups of the year, designer, niche, all of those top fragrances, those top lists to, you know, put a bow on the year. And we're already to the end of 2024, getting ready to embark on 25. So it's a great time to reflect throughout the year. And this list that I have today is a true reflection of, one, the climate that I live in. Two, most of these are really built off of, you know, everyday wear fragrances, with my lifestyle, you know, with work and, you know, date night and different things like that, man. But these fragrances stand out more than the rest, really, as far as complimented conversations, you know, all came with these fragrances. So let's go ahead and tap into my most complimented fragrances of 2024. And the number one overall, well, not only is this the most complimented fragrance of the year, this is now the most complimented fragrance in my entire collection. From the house of Rabanne, we have Invictus Parfum. Invictus Parfum. Yes, I received 9, count them, 9 compliments in one day with this fragrance. I wore it to the office and the compliments happened immediately as I scanned in to go into work for the day. And this DNA is just very, very legendary, iconic in the community. But this embodies the entire Invictus line. All of them. Victory, the original, the intense, a bit of all of them all rest here. But the unique note, and I've spoke about this multiple times throughout the year, is the black soap note. The black soap note brings this dark cleanliness, very luxury type of soap is what you get. And in real life, I bathe and wash with black soap. So immediately when I wore this, the connection was made because I use black soap. So it's I'm not gonna say it's super unique, no. But the twists and the turns of this parfum is really, really good. It's mass appealing and people do love it. Most complimented in my entire collection, and definitely one of the most complimented of 2024. From the house of Rabanne, we're talking Invictus Parfum. Get your nose on it. Get your nose on all my mass appealing performance warriors. Y'all know who y'all are out there. Check it out if you have not already. All right, next up, I didn't see this being one of the most complimented, although I love it and I've loved it from jump. But man, I will say this, women love this fragrance. Women love this fragrance. My wife loves this fragrance. Women at my job, I've been out and about wearing this. This is one of the better performers from the house, because I know the conversation of performance is always there. I get it. I'm not big on it these days. I'm big on the art and the creation and the experience before performance. But with all that being said, this is one of the most complimented of 2024 from the House of Mind Games. We're talking Voir. I know a lot of y'all were thinking French Defense, but again, this list is based on obviously what I've been wearing multiple times throughout the year, and Voir is one of those ones. Grapefruit, rose, salt, just this Palo Santo wood in here as well. But it's just something like the very first big time compliment that I got with this fragrance was I walked by, goodness D. Goodness D, I'm at the job. I said, what's going on? That smells incredible. What is that? She pulled out her phone and typed it up. Of course, right away she saw the price. But she said it, not me. She said, yeah, this is really, really expensive, but man, it might be worth getting, because the connection was just made with her. When I wear this, I leave it on my on my dresser, my countertop, and when I come home from work, guess who else is wearing it? my wife. So it's like, oh, he's wearing Sans Voir today. I love that too. So both of us usually are wearing Sans Voir if I'm wearing it. So complimented by a lot of ladies. Also, someone wanted they wanted this as a gift for their girlfriend. One of my young fellas at the job, he bought it for her. He said, yeah, that stuff is attractive. Basically what I'm saying is this is unisex. Even though a lot of women have complimented me, a lot of fellas like to like how this smells, whether it's for themselves or they want to gift it to someone. So one of the most complimented fragrances of 2024, and one I just didn't see coming, but people just like how this smells when I wear it. That's what we got from the House of Mind Games. We're talking Sans Voir. Sans Voir. Again, beautiful rose, grapefruit, salt, Palo Santo, beautiful stuff. Up next, this is probably the latest fragrance that was purchased in my collection, but I've already worn this almost a handful of times, and within those handful of times, I'm easily complimented 2 to 3 times throughout the day, easily, since I've worn this. And it's recent memory because I've just got this maybe a couple of months ago, but this is one that is just attractive from the House of Argos. We're talking Love Triumphs Over War. Love Triumphs Over War. Another one y'all probably didn't expect. Heavy florals here. Cashmere, vanilla, some fruitiness, like some tart fruitiness here, raspberry-like. And it's just really, really good. This is one that I deem all year round from the house, but it's unisex for sure. Some may say it may even lean a little feminine because of the heavy floral representation, but not to me. This is something that I love, I really, really enjoy. And again, wearing this easily 2 to 3 compliments within my first 4 to 5 wearing experiences with this fragrance. So it's one that I really, really enjoy. And there's a lot of fragrances that are compliment heavy from the House of Argos. A lot of you know about them already for sure. But for me personally, Love Triumphs Over War doesn't get that much talk. But since I've acquired it and I've worn it, easily 2 to 3 compliments every time that I've worn this fragrance. And definitely one of the most complimented for me in 2024. The most recent purchase of this entire list from the House of Argos. We're talking Love Triumphs Over War. Love Triumphs Over War. Samples are available on Argos. Use Dedrick 10. Save yourself 10% on anything on the Argos site. Link is in the description. Up next, man, this is probably, well, this is another mass appealing fragrance that the most compliments in one day I got was 5 with this. And it's just one that gets it done with high compliment factor. From the House of Yves Saint Laurent, we have YSL Myslf EDP. YSL Myslf EDP, not to be confused, of course, with the Parfum. This is a beautiful ambery orange blossom. Oh God, it smells so good. And to me, amber and orange blossom really set the stage here for this fragrance on and all the way through. But it's just one that carries, it performs, it's sweet. It's that white floral definition to the fragrance really stands out. Kind of gives it this kind of soft, fluffy nature in the opening, but that amber just kind of roars in and really collides with everything else in this fragrance and brings that sweetness to it. And I remember specifically going shopping for my son's birthday. We're getting ready to have his birthday probably earlier this year, back in the summer, and I wore this out, and I was out all day getting him, his outfit, picking up stuff off the list that my wife had say, hey, we need for the party. And literally every store that I went to, I got a compliment. Every store that I went to, I got a compliment. And this is just one of those ones. It is mass appealing. There was a lot of conversation about this fragrance, about yay or nay. But for me, it's a yay. And a lot of other people have positive things to say about this fragrance for sure. But one of my most complimented fragrances, it's just one of those go-to when I'm just kind of floating out and I'm in the streets and I'm running around and I'm taking care of whatever errands that I may have for myself or my wife or kids need. This is one that I spray on, and going in and out these stores and moving around, I get stopped wearing this fragrance. From the House of Yves Saint Laurent, we have Myslf, the EDP. YSL Myslf the EDP. All right. Up next, look. Things were very, very, very just interesting with this fragrance, particularly with my wife, and it had to be here. It had to be here from the house of Sospiro. We're talking Dolce Melodia. Man, beautiful citrus, white floral masterpiece. This is truly a 10 out of 10 fragrance. How blended it is with the fruits and the white florals and the musk is outstanding. I've told this story several times. My wife, at the very first time that I put this on, it was our anniversary weekend. We were getting ready to go out on a Friday night. It was late too. We were stepping out and she was getting ready up front. I was back in the back, just, getting myself together. And this fragrance traveled all the way up to the front of the hotel. And she was like, "What is that? Come out here. What is that?" I come in there. She was like, "Whoa," just kept smelling. I didn't know if he was gonna make it out of the hotel. I'm not joking. And she was like, "You don't have to wear anything else but this the whole weekend." Like, every time it's talked about, every time she smells it, it's just one of those ones. Out just throughout the night, the waitress asked me, well, she didn't ask me what I was wearing. She just said, "Oh my God, you smell really, really good." I've worn this a couple of other times and it never fails. I'm in my local Publix, and one of the women who were stocking in the produce area, her back was turned. I was walking by and she just kind of looked around and she's like, "What are you wearing?" "What are you wearing?" And I told her what it was. Of course, she had never heard of it. But she was like, "Smells really good, really, really good." So one of the more complimented fragrances of the year, one of the best pickers of the year. You might see this in my top pickers of 2024 as well. Matter of fact, you more than likely 99% will see this, but fan favorite in my household. So it definitely had to be here. I think this is up there towards the top of the list for what my wife loves to smell on me. From the house of Sospiro, we're talking Dolce Melodia. Dolce Melodia, definitely a top complimented fragrance for 2024. All right, up next, this is an office great. This will forever be on my top fragrances that I recommend for the office. As long as I'm concerned, as far as I'm concerned, this will always be there. And I love this stuff. Very underrated. From the house of Tumi, we're talking Atlas. Tumi's Atlas. Beautiful citrus, vetiver, musky style of a fragrance here. The Florida grapefruit note, that there's two different types of vetiver in here as well, but that grapefruit vetiver combo is beautiful. This has a smooth texture to the fragrance as well, so it's not screechy or kind of hard to deal with in the opening. No, for it to be a designer fragrance, and Tumi is super slept on. There's a lot of people who just don't talk about Tumi, and I've talked about Tumi quite a bit, and this is, man, it's one of my favorites. I'm saying it's top 3. It's top 3, but for a freshie, for something of everyday wear, and especially for the office, I've gotten a lot of questions about this. I've gotten a lot of compliments just throughout the year. This is the fragrance that I wear year round. I really recommend it for like warmer weather, but you can really wear it all you want, when you want. But this one for sure, a lot of the young fellas really like what this is all about. I've given a link to this fragrance quite a few times, and it's always the same style of comment. "D bro, you smell good, bro." With the shaking head, "You smell good, bro." And then some have asked, "What is that?" I work around a lot of people. I like in my field, in my business, I'm around hundreds of people daily. So the opportunity for a conversation is there, especially when you're the smell good guy. And this is one that brings conversation and compliments. From the house of Tumi, we're talking Tumi Atlas. Love Tumi Atlas, man. I got this fragrance this summer, and as you can see, the dent on it is real. We wearing them over here. We wearing them. Up next, man, this stuff is just special. It's my favorite from the house for sure. It's my favorite. So versatile, so clean, so fresh. It's great. From the house of Initio, we have Musk Therapy. Musk Therapy from Initio. Pretty much white florals, musk, and fruity elements. This stuff is incredible, man. I remember the first experience with this was a couple of decants that I got. My wife took one. She was like, oh boy. So I'm not only am I a lover of this fragrance, so is she. Great everyday wear, versatile no matter what. But I typically wear this to the office. And I remember we were cooking out for the team at work. We have these safety cookouts when we go injury free and go on these safety streaks at work. And I was on the grill flipping some steaks, and one of my coworkers came by. It was a breeze. The smoke was going. I couldn't even smell myself anymore because I'm engulfed in smoke from the grill. But he picked it up. He said, yo, what are you wearing? And I said, grill smoke. He said, no, I just caught something. So I said, I don't know, bro. And I'm sweating at this point. So it's warmer. I'm sweating. My pores are open. So this fragrance is probably running around me. And not probably, because he picked it up. I told him what it was, and he bought it. Like, he bought it. And a couple of days later, he, no, not about a week later, he came through and said, hey, yo, my wife loves it. That stuff is amazing. So that's one of the highlight compliments. But moving around just throughout the day, definitely get a lot of, oh, you smell good, you smell nice. And my wife is a huge fan of this as well. My sister is as well. She bought her a full bottle upon experiencing this for the first time. So definitely one of my most complimented fragrances of the year. Initio's Must Therapy. Initio Must Therapy. All right, up next, this is a no-brainer. You're gonna see this video. You're gonna see this fragrance in another video discussing year-end stuff for 2024. But this probably doesn't need much conversation. But I got a lot of compliments. Get a lot of compliments with this fragrance from the house of Nihilo. You guessed it, Blue Talisman. Blue Talisman is pound for pound one of the very best blue inspired fragrances ever. Orange, pear, woods, musk, a simplistic DNA, but a unforgettable blend. A beautiful blend. There are not a lot of blue fragrances or a lot of versatile everyday fragrances built like this. There are a bunch of people who I work with running around with Blue Talisman on. and it is because of me. It is. I'm walking into the office. I have a list of gentlemen who said, yo, what is that? And most of them, believe it or not, their favorite fragrances are the Bleu de Chanel and the Dior Sauvages. And they still wear those fragrances, and so do I. But this is just, for me, this sits right, this is in the same neighborhood, on the same street as my beloved Bleu de Chanel Parfum, who I still hold over this. But I wore this a lot in 2024. And then my barber, shout out to my main man, Larry. Even though I don't have hair on my head no more, but he still shakes me up, cuts my son's hair. My man is, I gotta get that D. I gotta get that D, that Blue Test. I done bought him a couple of samples. He's ran through them. It's a compliment magnet. It's mass appealing and people just love it. The hype on this was incredible. And in my opinion, the hype is definitely real. One most compliment in 2024. Nihilo Blue Talisman. Blue Talisman. All right, two more left to discuss. Up next, one of the very best for summer. Unique blend from an underrated house who deserves a lot more conversation. And as far as I have anything to do with it, they will continue to receive that. From the house of Nazar Fragrances, we're talking Panic Attack. One of the best summer themed fragrances in my collection. I'm sitting at a seafood restaurant with a couple of the homies. It's Father's Day weekend. I got on this fragrance. The young woman upon arrival says, who is smelling like that? And then everybody goes, they point to me. Everybody points to me with this salty, fruity, slightly woodsy. This is incredible. It's one of my favorite, if not the favorite from the house of Nazar. I've referenced this with the Hoochie Daddy movement and everything that we got here on this channel for the summer. But the handful of times that you don't need a lot of sprays of this, man. I'm talking 3-4 max. You're humming all day. And outside, inside, no matter what's going on, this stuff works. And compliment it while out and about enjoying the summer. I wore this to work one time, and compliments came just throughout. And most of my compliments come in the very early stages of my day. It's like the 3 to 4 hour mark when I'm first getting to work and getting myself established, seeing what the day is going on, you know, how it's going about. That's typically when the compliments come. And the reason, obviously, freshly sprayed, projection, and sillage are more activated in the earlier stages. That's, you know, that's not rocket science. So this right here is definitely one that garnered quite a bit of attention as I moved throughout the summer. And it should, because it's that good. From the house of Nazar Fragrances, one of my most complimented of 2024. There's no doubt, Panic Attack. Panic Attack. All right. And last but not least, this one here, it just never ceases to amaze me. Bergamot, orange, oolong tea, nutmeg, fig, like musk. You guys probably know what it is by the description. From the house of Nishane, we're talking Wulong Cha. Last year when I got Wulong Cha, it was a summer fragrance and date night fragrance. My wife loves smelling this on me during our summer and our spring nights out. This year, I really wore it a lot more to the office. And most of my fragrances, like I said, this list is really built off my day-to-day, everyday vibe. And I go to work every day. I work around a lot of people. And of course, it's out there now that I am the smell good guy. So this is a fragrance that I've given links out to. I know 2 gentlemen who have this fragrance in their collection just based off the experience of smelling it off of me, and then obviously for themselves. I've been out and about at restaurants with my wife, and the waitress comes up, says somebody smells real good, and and me and my wife, you know, we point to each other, you know, when that happens. But this is a great performer. Wears really, really, really well. Projection and sillage is great here. For me personally, you know, this is just a unique blend with what the tea does in this fragrance, and it has some sex appeal to it, man. But while predominantly being something of versatile standards, and you can wear this whenever you want. And when I've worn this, there's always, most of the time, been a conversation. And again, it's a huge fan. There's a huge fan of this in my household, my wife, but also I've experienced it at work, out to dinner, and different things like that. It's just one that's really, really good. In 2024, it got a lot of love. From the house of Nishane, we're talking Wulong Cha, one of the most complimented fragrances of 2024. All right, Smell Good family. So that is going to wrap up my most complimented fragrances of 2024. And there's a couple of others that could have made this list, but to my memory, going back from January to the release of this video, these fragrances got a lot of conversation, a lot of compliments, a lot of links were given out about these fragrances. So that's why they stand true here as a part of the 10 of most complimented of 2024. So of course, let me know what your most complimented fragrances are of 2024. Smell Good family, definitely would love to know what fragrances got a lot of love this year. All right, so drop those down below in the comments. All right, and if you're not a member of the Smell Good family, you can be. All you gotta do is hit the subscribe button and like the video, and meet me in the comments, and we can talk about what you love and what I love, and that is the beautiful art of fragrance. All right, so of course, always around here is positive energy, positive vibes, splag it that thing all around. And remember, what you put out to this world, that's exactly what you're going to get back. That's facts. That's law. All right, peace, y'all. Till next time. That's the splag.